Hello guys, welcome back. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 1 Episode 41 of my show, but this isn't actually an episode of the first season. This is going to be an episode of character battles on the 4 Dark Masters. Now, if you guys are wondering, who are the Dark Masters? Now, I'll just explain to you who they are. They consist of 4 elite Mega level Digimon. The first, they're known as MetalSeadramon, Puppetmon, Piedmon, and Machinedramon. That's 4 of them total. And so the next episode of my show, I'll put in the description. Start of the Dark Master Saga. But for this episode, I'm just gonna do a set of character bios on them. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to probably try to make this video over 20 minutes because it's not an actual episode of the series. It's just an episode with me doing character bios for my channel. Like it's an episode of my history channel, but it's not an actual episode of the first season, is what I'm trying to say basically. Anyway, getting into it, I'll start off. I'll talk about them in the order that you just fight them in. So now, first one I'll talk about is MetalSeadramon. MetalSeadramon is one of the 4 Dark Masters, and he's also the last form of Seadramon that'll show up in his first season. Because if you guys were wondering when I introduced Mega Seadramon, I said because of his name, if he was a Mega Digimon, like I said, he wasn't. This is his actual final Mega form. It's known as MetalSeadramon, like I said, and speaking of that, I just want to show you guys my character impression of him. Never send a rookie to do a Mega's work. Farewell, Digidestined. It was a rare pleasure meeting you. Medium rare. Those Divermon, if it wasn't for their striking fin attack, they'd be useless to me. And what do you guys think of that? I just show you guys that again. I showed you guys that when I did the episodes for the second arc. I showed you my character impressions of them, of the Dark Masters. So when I get to their character bios, I'm gonna show you my impressions of them again. I just decided to get that out of the way. Anyway, getting into it with the Dark Masters. MetalSeadramon rules over the ocean part of a section of the mountain known as Spiral Mountain. And his minions are basically ocean-based minions, and but there's only 2 of them that'll show up for him. The first of them is one is called Scorpiomon, and the other is called Divermons, and basically he lasts from episode 41 all the way to the beginning of episode 43, and he's destroyed by Greymon using that version of his Terraforce attack where he spins and stuff. I just thought I'd get that out of the way with him. Anyway, oh man, now I have to talk about him. Now I have to talk about my least favorite character among the 4 Dark Masters. This one is known as Puppetmon, and the reason I'll explain to you guys why he's my least favorite. Because well, he's basically a Pinocchio-like Digimon. You know what Pinocchio is? Like he's a puppet with the strings and stuff like that. So he's like a puppet like that, and he's my least favorite because he's just so annoying. I never really liked him in my personal opinion. I never really liked Puppetmon that much, and this part of it's gonna have to be a long one because he takes up most of the Dark Master Saga, like from episodes 43 all the way to episode 47. But the only reason, in my personal opinion, he lasts so long against the Digidestined is because he's tricky. But before I continue, I just want to mention something about the Dark Masters. Each one of them rules over a separate section of a special mountain that they created in the digital world once they took it over. It's called Spiral Mountain. Now, and basically MetalSeadramon ruled over the ocean, so when he was defeated, the ocean section of Spiral Mountain is destroyed, and when Puppetmon rules over the forest section, And like I said, his special attack is what's known as Puppet. I'll explain to you guys what his special attack is called. His special attack is known as Puppet Pummel, which can be used in many different ways. Like, in one way, he can use this hammer that he has to shoot all these bullets out of it, which is kind of creative in my personal opinion. But, it's not really effective. And the only reason he lasts so long is because he uses tricks. Like, for one instance, he uses these little doll things that he has. Now, I'll just show you my character impression of him before I continue on. 1, 2, 3, you're stuck in the tree. Not here, not here. I need a new cable company. If these kids take any longer to get here, I will develop wood rot. Oh my god, I just thought I should show you guys that before I continued with Puppetmon's character bio. And the minions that he has in his section are basically Digimon that are based in four sections, like Kiwimon, Floramon, Terramon, Cherrymon, stuff like that, and Red Vegemon, but I'll explain more about those. And the only time Puppetmon manages to physically damage the Digidestin in my honest and personal opinion, is in episodes 44/45. Now the reason why I say 44/45 is because 44 and 45 are kind of connected with each other and stuff like that, and because where 44 ends, 45 begins, and it continues over from each other like that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And and Puppetmon is kind of the reason why they split up, because a minion of his, a Cherry Tree Digimon called Cherrymon, tricked Matt into believing Tai was his enemy, but I'll explain more about that when I get to the video for episode 44 on my show. Now, this actually is episode 41 on my show, but it's not an actual episode of the first season. It's just an episode with me doing character bios, like I said. Anyway, continuing on, after he takes TK with him because he wants to play with him and stuff, later on he has the garbage. Well, later on, another form of his, another one of his squadrons is introduced. They're called the Garbage Mons, but I won't explain about them until I get to the parts where he shows up. I won't explain about those guys until later. I won't explain about them until I get to where the characters that he has working for him, fighting for him. I just thought of that. And the reason why the only reason he lasts so long against the Digidestin, in my personal opinion, is because he's really tricky. Like, in one instance, he uses these dolls to kind of control them, and all that weird stuff starts happening. And basically what happens is, and his special attack is, like, it's an annoying attack. It's called Puppet Pummel, which, like I said, can be used in many different ways. Like, in one instance, he can use it to shoot these yellow bullet-like things out of the hammer. And the other way he can use it is if he whacks someone with it, or in another instance, uses the sack thing that he has on him, like his little wood plank that he has on his back, and throw it at his opponents like he does with the Red Vegemon, but I'll explain more about his minions later when I get to his part in the Dark Master Saga. Oh, and just as a quick heads up, a couple of the videos for this saga of the first season will have to be short ones. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, and also an enemy Digimon that the Digidestin fought at the beginning of the season, like at the beginning of the second arc, will return from the past, and like he'll return back, and then I'll have to reintroduce him again, like I said. Oh, and also, just as another quick heads up, if you guys remember, when I did the video for episode 30 of my show, but about episode 29, I started laughing. I will start laughing for the video for episode 46 of season 1. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. I won't explain why. However, I'll start off laughing. I won't do that right now because this is a character bio video. It's not actually an actual episode of the show. and stuff. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, continuing on, episode 47 is where they actually finally get, Puppetmon's, strings cut, technically. It's partially because of Matt and, MetalSeadramon that happens. But before I start with that, I just want to mention one thing. In episode 45, this will actually show the referential appearance of the one of the two Digimon I explained. I'll explain more about that one when I get to the referential part. But the video for it will have to be a short one because the episode 45 of this first season is a short one. It's only 19 minutes. And some of them are really short, like some of them are like 20 minutes and some of them are like 19 and 21. So I'll just have to make some videos short and some videos long for that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, and there are two other minions that Puppetmon has that he uses as like little playmates. I'll explain more about those when I get to the part of the Dark Master Saga where they're fighting him and stuff. I'll explain more about that. Anyway, and that's, there's one last thing about Puppetmon I think I should let you guys know. The only reason, in my personal opinion, he lasts so long against the Digimon is because he uses tricks and stuff like that. Like, he uses tricks, like conniving little tricks. Like, for one instance, he uses these little dolls to kind of control them and stuff like that and make them do things. Like, for one instance, when he's picking them up, they move to a certain area and they move on and stuff like that. And I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Now, I'll probably, if you guys don't mind, I'll probably get into Machinedramon, if you guys want. But one last thing about Puppetmon, like I said, the only time he manages to damage the Digidestin is in episode 44/45. I just thought I'd get that one out of the way one last time. Now I'll do the character bio for Machinedramon. But before I do, I want to show you his impression of him that I did early on in the first season during the second arc. I'm bored with this game of cat and mouse. Initiate plan, eliminate. Now I'll just explain what is. Machinedramon is another one of the 4 elite mega level Dark Masters, and he rules over the mechanical city section of Spiral Mountain, and basically by his name, most of his minions that he has are like machine type Digimon and stuff, like Tankmon, Machinedramon, and there will be an image in the past of these robot Digimon that will show up that are called Guardromon, but I won't explain about them until that, when I do the section of the Dark Master Saga where the Digidestin are fighting Puppetmon and stuff. And that video will probably have to be a short one, because that video, which is about episode 45 of season 1, is only 19 minutes long, so that one's gonna have to be a short one again. Anyway, also the first episode with Machinedramon is also kind of personal. Like, it's not personal to me, but it's just kind of sad and tragic, because what happens is, I'll explain it later when I get to that, but basically what happens is they're crossing another desert, and Kari gets sick, and she collapses, and Tai freaks out. But I won't explain more about that until I get to the part where they're fighting Machinedramon and stuff. And basically the minions that he has are mostly machine-like Digimon. Some of them are called Megadramon and Gigadramon. Like, 2 of them are called Megadramon and Gigadramon. The others are called Tankmon and Machinedramon. And there is one other Digimon that Machinedramon has that, isn't a machine Digimon, but rather he's a different version of Monzamon. Because if you guys remember the video I did during using the clips where for episode 7 of my show, but about episode 6, where I introduced Monzamon, I kind of stated that there were 2 versions of him that would show up. I'll explain, and that second one is called Waru Monzamon, but I'll explain more about him when I get to episode 49. And, I'll just explain to you, what Machinedramon's special attack in this first season. It's an attack which is known as Giga Cannon, which is basically it's a yellow energy blast that he shoots out of these two cannons that he has on his back and stuff like that. I'll explain what Plan Eliminate is. If you guys don't mind, also I'll just give you a little hint about what Plan Eliminate is. Basically he has them destroy everything, but I'll explain more about that when I get to episode 48. Now, finally, we get into the final Dark Master, guys. He's the leader and most powerful among the 4 Dark Masters. He's called Piedmon. Now, in my personal opinion, Piedmon is like the Digimon version of, if you know those Batman kind of comic books, and TV shows where Batman is fighting the Joker, Piedmon is, in my personal opinion, he's like the Digimon version of the Joker, basically. He's the leader of the 4 Dark Masters and the strongest of the bunch. And I'll show you his character, like my character impression of him right now. Please allow me to introduce my fellow actors in this comedic comedy of errors. Puppetmon, Machinedramon, MetalSeadramon, and myself, Piedmon. We'd like to begin by giving audience volunteers. Who would like to be the first to die? Your incessant whining is getting on my nerves. You will be the first to go. You will be the first to go. The plot thickens. I was really hoping that these little ones would put on a more interesting show. But this really is so tiresome. Can we just get on with something a little more less tedious? There's no escape from Machinedramon. He's designed for total annihilation. It's only a matter of time before he catches them, and then the game is over. Farewell, little ones. Those are my character impressions for the 4 Dark Masters. I did them when I did the section of the second season. In the episodes, I referenced them. Like, I gave you a glimpse of what they were. I just say that for the rest of that. I said I'd show you them again when I did this video, and I kept my word on it. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, I'll explain to you what Piedmon's special attacks are called. His special attacks in this first season are what's known. My favorite of his special attacks is what's known as Trump Sword, which basically Trump Sword is basically an attack where he shoots these 3 swords out of his body, like he throws them at his opponent. And he's also like, the other one is called Clown Trick, basically, and Puppetmon is basically a phantom, like Digimon, like, you never know what he's gonna look like next, and stuff, which is kind of effective in some cases, and, the Digidestined don't actually fight him until episodes, 50/52, and that'll lead into the last 2 episodes, but I won't explain about those until I get to them. Anyway, like I said, if you guys remember, I said that the Dark Masters ruled over this, over a section of Spiral Mountain. I'll explain. I said MetalSeadramon ruled over the ocean section of Spiral Mountain. Puppetmon ruled over the forest, and Machinedramon ruled over the mechanical city. And basically, the section of Spiral Mountain that Piedmon rules over is known as, it's just the main section of it. And the 2 minions that he has to fight the Digidestined are called Biomons, and the other one is if you guys remember when I introduced Demon's character during the 3rd arc, I said that there was another one, another Devimon character that would be a minion. It's also a female one. Her name is Lady Devimon and stuff. I'll explain more about her and when I get to the part of the Dark Master Saga where the Digidestined are fighting them. Anyway, and that's basically, just one more thing. After that, the Dark Master Saga kind of ends at episode 52. So, after the Dark Master Saga, we'll have 2 more episodes of the first season to do after that. And that'll kind of introduce the last, main villain for the first season, but I won't explain who that is until I get to the last 2 episodes. So, if you guys like this character bio video of the Dark Masters on YouTube, just please really give it the real best you guys can. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep it digital, and also the next episode of my show will be at the actual start of the Dark Master Saga. So until then, like I said, keep it digital, guys.